What's all this racket then?
Why, it's Sonic Malarkey, music and mayhem from The Rock, with your favorite homegrown musical luminaries, Don Anonymous and Susie Wilbur. And little old me, Raven Dave Conley. Woo! Hello, hello.
Hi.
We always like to start with a good scream. So, yeah, been a while. How's it going? That was a great show last night. Don and Susie are here with me, fresh from the benefit they did for Greg Fiorino. And it was a hot set by Cupid's Boomerang, that's for sure. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Really good. No, really good.
It scared me for a minute. I think that's, great part of our local music community. That's why I've, and music and history are two of my favorite things. So, because history is important, so we don't repeat it like we're doing. And music, like I always say, all music is local, else you couldn't hear it.
Sure.
So I put together a little introduction to our local Rochester music history here. And if we could just roll that beautiful bean footage. David Hochstein, a man whose talent, passion, and sacrifice led to the creation of the Hochstein School of Music. And thanks to George Eastman, who gave him a Stradivarius, showed everyone that Rochester could raise a world-class musician. Since then, Rochester has produced and hosted over a century of legendary talent. From a true gift to the world, being born here on Christmas Day in 1907, Cab Calloway,
a very entrancing phrase,
to our famous native foreigner Lou Graham. Believe it or not, even surf music has some roots here, being the childhood home of the only unrelated original Beach Boy, Al Jardine.
Let's go surfing on the Barge Canal.
The city where the legendary Sun House was rediscovered has also been graced by stars of the 60s and 70s like that young rascal, Gene Cornish.
On a Sunday afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, my son, the singer.
Gary Lewis and the Playboys.
If you need someone to count on, count me in.
Wilmer and the Dukes. Duke Jupiter. A lot of Dukes. More recently, the Gym Class Heroes. And Danielle Ponder.
Who's gonna listen to a poor man?
I love her.
Yeah, good song. That voice is great. Some of the best known studio musicians. And don't forget that character on King of the Hill that made us feel so good. Also have a Rochester connection.
Chick man, Joni. I'm not a chick, I'm a dude.
Although many of these musicians have left us, their music lives on in our hearts. Kills me every time. That's a lot of music, and that's just part of it. But you can't talk about our local music history without appreciating the beauty of it all.
This is Lawrence Welcome. Our next guests were fine musicians. When I saw them blow the doors off a Chevy 50 feet in the air. Sweet little Wendy Williams and the boys will sing one of their delightfully sentimental songs out. Here are the Plasmatics.
Oh, Wendy, oh, I need you.
Turn up your TV set.
Ready? 1, 2, 15, 2.
Just wonder what goes through your mind when you're doing that sort of thing.
It's also, like in our society, like things are way out of whack.
Yeah?
Like it seems that it's normal for rape and murder to go on, but it's not normal to smash a TV set. And I think things are out of proportion. And like I'm like exercising the evil in society when I'm smashing these things, because I'm showing that these are just things. They're not.
And I'm sure I give away my age group when I talk like that.
Yeah, it's a great quote.
Everybody has the same cosmic, same energy. Everybody has that. And everybody should have the right to express this energy. Mm-hmm. And this is pluralism.
Okay.
You know, like the rest of this junk is fascism, when somebody wants to beat you over the head to make you do what they want you to do. And this is what we're against. We're out to stomp that out.
Okay.
You found some good, timely quotes there from Wendy U.
Oh, yeah. I was about to do like Tom Snyder. Remember him? Mostly I remember Dan Aykroyd's impersonation.
You're showing your age, Dave.
Okay. Yes, I'm old. Okay. I'm sure I'm showing my age, but those are some of the greats that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. I know I missed a lot there, but we were luckily part of history. Mm-hmm. We got to see the class of 2025 induction ceremony, and thanks to Don and Susie and Frank DeBlaze, we went from being in the balcony down in the front row.
And Deb Jones.
And Deb Jones? Okay. Well, thank you. I wish I'd gotten more of Frank, but I wasn't sure if he wanted a camera in his face. It's like, I remember reading his reviews in the City magazine were great.
Yes, he currently does the Beacon.
I think so.
It's an online publication now, the Rochester Beacon. He's been writing for them. So look that up online, Frank DeBlaze.
Definitely write some good stuff, and I'm forever grateful for those seats. Were awesome. And I tried to document the whole thing, and I think I got most of it, little bits and pieces. I was having trouble walking with my cane and using two phones, one that didn't work, and I ended up piecing together about 70 clips. And it started out with the RPO, with the Rochester Philharmonic. I did not realize they were 100 years old.
Yeah, 1925,
yeah. And I saw them over 50 years ago. School trip.
Here I am, waiting at Don's house, because I was told we were going to
little miscommunication.
Here he is.
Luckily, you were left stranded.
No, luckily you came right back.
Press passes to get reserved seats, and we may just be moved from the balcony down to the front row.
See, I forgot I said that in here.
This is the new part of the Eastman Theater. This is the lobby where everybody's waiting. There's the box office.
There was the carpet.
I was so old, I went to the front, the original box office.
I was amazed. I did not remember that about the chandelier.
Oh, yeah. They always
I love these old theaters.
Chandelier.
Like whereas I was trying to look up and all these people, there it is, 6,000 pounds. That's 6,000 pounds of chandelier.
In case there's an earthquake.
Now, I was going to bring the program. I finally found this guy's name.
Yes, Anthony Blood. We had just seen him play.
Oh, is that really?
With
just
his
like
band.
the day before.
I think we were still stumbling around trying to get our seats here.
And his band is forgot their name already.
You're here because you love
It'll come to me.
You know, we're better together. I thought about this a lot as we were going through rehearsals and everything. We're going to have over 100 musicians tonight performing. All Rochesterians. All Rochesterians.
Except for the ones from Geneva.
And as terrific as they are...
It's close enough. It's the metropolitan area of Rochester.
So you're in for a really great night of music, and we are truly better together. And when people come together to make music, it's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to get out on the stage. We're going to roll on, enjoy the show, and just eat it up because you're going to love it tonight.
It was tasty.
Judah, the band.
Yes, Anthony Blood is the guitarist and singer for Judah. Very good group.
Yeah.
But he was working there solo, though.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
There they are. See, the first concert I saw at the RPO at the Eastman Theater was with Isaiah Jackson. Now, this was back in 70, like showing my age again. Mod Squad was big on TV at the time.
I remember that show.
And our favorite character was Link. We used to walk around saying things like solid, and then we would dive out of doorways and alleyways and jump on people going, Link! And we got to that show, and Isaiah Jackson was only the second or third black conductor in the country. And I was like, cool, Link is conducting.
Did he have a good fro?
He had a huge fro.
Nice.
As great conductor, he explained to us that
And to our wonderful principal post conductor, Jeff Tyson.
William Tell Overture wasn't the theme from The Lone Ranger.
This is such an honor to be inducted into the Rochester Music Hall of Fame. Thank you so much for it. We only waited 100 years for this.
Just remember, it's these musicians on stage who are the heroes.
Yeah. Their new conductor here, this guy, he's straight out of Central Casting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was great, but I mean, that's like, he could have been in that Bugs Bunny cartoon.
He's got the Bernstein hair.
Definitely. And the accent. But he was awesome. This was a beautiful version of this. I know.
Sounds so good, but that's what
This woman right here with the cool thing in her hair, she was my favorite person to watch. Because every time...
Remember I asked you, did they write it so that one violin can stop and the other one can turn the page?
Well, the first chair never has to turn the page.
See, now this was a great version of Weather Report here.
Yes.
And Jeff Tyzik made me really glad I wasn't the only person wearing a silver suit.
Mm-hmm. He looked really good that night.
He did. Really his suit was much brighter than mine, though.
Yeah, but you both looked great.
He looked much better conducting.
Yeah, I was going to say that this stuff sounds so good. When the rock music is done at Eastman, it's not so much the case. The sound man had some nightmare scenarios for sound man, the kind of stuff they had going on this evening.
Oh, when the bands came out, yeah. I remember you thought the violinists were lip syncing the violin parts.
Well, yeah.
It sounded so good.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
It almost sounded like there was more volume coming from the speakers than from the stage, but it was mixed wonderful. There's Frank.
Yep. Now this part was great when he even turned around and conducted the audience. Cut that out! You're throwing me off. There they are. Nobody threw roses, though. Guess that's cliche or something. Oh, the great Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra. I'm sure they've got to be like one of the top-rated philharmonics in the country, aren't they?
I would certainly hope so, because they're really good. They are phenomenal.
Yes, they are.
I am grateful to be able to continually see them in person.
Yeah.
Because I get chills every time I go. And it doesn't matter what performance is it. Rob Schwartz, he's taken me to a couple of really cool, like Star Wars ones, and Those are fantastic.
Now, has Rochester done that? I know a couple of philharmonics have done, like, actually played along to the Bugs Bunny cartoon. Has Rochester done that?
I don't know, but they have played to Star Wars, and it was amazing.
Oh, that'd be
watching the movie. And
John Williams is amazing conductor.
They've played in several movies. They do that. They work that into their program. I think that might be the Jeff Tyzik Pops. Not sure about that.
I think you're right about
I'm
that.
going to give a plug to Rob Schwartz, Carnival of Randomness. Thank you very much for taking me to those shows.
Yes, I listened to that podcast the other day.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Great job.
He does a great job. He and Andy Calabrese and Greg Andrews. They're
Yeah. Oh, Greg was funny. It was funny. He was talking about his island money. I had no idea.
His island honey?
His island money. Emily Champion. I listened to the episode with Emily Champion, player. I guess she loved you guys. She was raving about you guys.
We love her.
And she
love
kept
Emily
joking
Champion.
that Greg made island money. And he has his own private island. Probably where he can sit back and listen he can sit back and listen to some cool jazz like Chet Cataldo. How's that for a segue? Chet Cataldo was the next inductee up, and that's our next video. We're getting a little jazzy now with some Spyro Gyra guy.
At the age of 3, and served tunes on guitar by age 8. At 13 years old, his band The Downbeats was performing live at house parties, while Catello was writing original blues, R&B, and jazz songs. After graduating from East Ridge High School in 1971, he and his 6-string Savvy went on the road at age 18 with the band Portable People, recording on the Roulette Records label. Under the new band name of Gamble, they became the house band for Mother Blues in Dallas in the early 70s. There, Catello cut his blues chops with the genre's biggest cats, like B.B. King, Johnny Winter, John Lee Hooker, the Vaughan Brothers, and more. Returning to Rochester in 1975, he formed the jazz blues group Vixen before joining Buffalo-based Spyro Gyra. From 1978 to 1984, Catello circled the globe with the Jazz Fusion Band, from performing in Europe, Asia, South America, Central America, and across the U.S., headlining jazz and music festivals and performing at Carnegie Hall and Radio City Music Hall. Signed by MCA Records, Spyro Gyra was one of the first bands to cross over from fusion jazz to pop, topping the charts in multiple categories. Catello was responsible for writing some of Spyro Gyra's most popular gold and platinum hits, including Cafe Amore, Loving You, and It Doesn't Matter.
We are honored to induct to the Rochester Music Hall of Fame class of 2025, Mr. Chet Cataldo. Hi everybody, thanks for coming. Thank you. This is a real honor, I gotta tell you. I was with Spyro Gyra all those years and other bands and stuff, recording, always doing the best to further ourselves with our music and everything. And I was very fortunate and blessed to get all those awards with Spyro Gyra and some other stuff on my own.
Spyro Gyra was great. He's such a smooth guitarist. It's amazing to hear, like, he cut his chops with all those hardcore Texas blues guys, like the Vaughan Brothers.
That's impressive. I used to see him all the time when he played. When he plays out with a band now, he calls it Checatello and the Cats. And in the 1980s, I used to see them all the time at Living Legends in Rochester, which was on South Avenue. It doesn't exist anymore. It's an empty lot next to the current club, Lux. But back in the 80s, they had a real good jukebox there, and he'd play there all the time, and I would go in there and see him. And back then, he had a stash.
Had to give a shout out to John Viviatine, the sax player there, was also the Educator of the Year award.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, go on, Don. I interrupted.
No, you didn't. No, I was done.
Oh.
Living Legends was an appropriate name. There were other bands that play there too that could end up being Hall of Fame in the future. We'll see, like the Marshall James Band, for instance.
Is Colorblind James in there?
No, Colorblind James was not in there, and I'd like to talk about that a little bit later.
They should be in there. They definitely should be.
So should personal effects.
There's a lot of people that.
Right. God, I haven't heard that name in years.
Peggy and Paul Dodd. They made it onto MTV's.
I tried to get some of this colored smoke here, make it look like the smoke was coming off his guitar there.
Peggy and Paul Dodd, boy, I just idolized them when I was a kid, man. They were so sweet. Still are really nice people.
We know the drummer, great guy, Julius Ferrante.
Yeah, he's one of the Cats, right?
Yeah, he's
no, he has sort of his Cats kind of, in recent years, is whomever he gets is a Cat. It's not a steady thing anymore. It used to be back in the day when I used to see him, but.
Buy him some tequila and he'll be your best friend for 5 minutes. I'm talking about the honor, the inductee.
Oh, what are you talking about, Chet?
Yeah.
Here's the educator of the year.
Groovy. And I said to myself, I want
did we ever have teachers that said groovy?
That's what I ended up doing, sharing my life with my students for almost 30 years.
I would have definitely learned more, I think.
None of it was work.
Mr. Maselli, he was my biology teacher. He was awesome. No, my earth science teacher.
Did he say groovy a lot?
Groovy all the time.
Cool.
I wanted to
solid.
He was a good man.
Become good citizens.
My biology creature. My biology teacher.
My biology creature.
My biology
Welcome.
teacher was.
I'd like you to meet my biology creature.
His name was Mr. McCrank, and he used to come to all of our shows until he passed away. It was awesome. He was amazing.
That's the kind of teachers you need.
Yeah, good man.
Now, this girl was amazing. I wish I'd caught more.
Oh, she was fantastic.
I'm still confused. He said viola. The program said violin.
Viola.
It looks like she's playing a violin. I thought a viola was more like.
No, viola is like in between. Is a larger version.
Just a bigger violin.
It also has its own fret.
Okay.
So, I mean, clef.
Oh yeah,
it has
that
its own
is
clef.
a little bit bigger than. Okay.
That is a viola then.
So there's the bass clef, the G clef, and the viola clef.
I never knew the difference, but I'm so glad she won.
She's amazing.
She got an
was
award.
amazing.
She's not an inductee, but they do this award every year.
Right.
And she's still 17.
Well, I
right?
didn't call the inductees winners. Just
she is still a winner. Yes. Oh, right.
We're all winners.
True.
Well, she's a winner in my eyes. I mean, look at her. The way she plays by herself.
Craft away from these beautiful wooded shores. We slowly turn our eyes back to the charms of television advertising and the lyrical chant of our sponsor's message. After which I'll float back.
That was a Dave insert.
Definitely.
No, Alfred Hitchcock was not shown at the Rochester Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, it needed something. I only had that one little clip of her playing, so I just repeated it with Alfred.
I thought I had more, but apparently.
And
our friend.
I thought that was a great lead into our next inductee, the Record Archive.
Yes.
If we could play that one.
Richard Storms.
Richard Storm. And now, when I didn't know who he was, and you said, I've seen Dick Storm, I do his gutters, and I was like, Don, you're not supposed to look in the windows.
He's also a super supportive person in the music scene.
Oh, yeah. It's great that he has concerts there.
Yeah, you know, he was having bands even at his old location on Mount Hope.
Generations know well that Record Archive is the place to go, housing the largest vinyl record collection in the Northeast. Richard Storms founded the Record Archive at a flea market in Henrietta in 1975. Today, he remains much sought after for his immense music knowledge, which he cultivated while DJing.
They're setting up for primetime funk.
And purchasing a Victrola with records when working with antiques in his mid-20s. Today, you can find him playing with his musical band Stormy Valley at the public market every Saturday. Richard Storms estimates that there are more than 1 million items at Record Archive, a number that rivals most museums.
That's a lot of stuff. Some of my used records and CDs are in there.
Record Archive is a founding member of Record Store Day, promoting all the things that record stores have to offer their communities. This event has single-handedly reinvigorated the resurgence of vinyl. In 2019, Record Archive was awarded a prestigious Independent Spirit Award by the Music Business Association for their trailblazing success. The onstage award announcement noted, thanks to their undying dedication, Record Archive has stood the test of time to become a must-see music landmark.
Alderman.
Yeah, he and Elena did a really good job together.
I know. I just like that's where my camera started messing up.
My record accumulation, we began Record Archive in us.
What an incredible honor it is to stand here before you and accept this induction to the Rochester Arts and Music Hall of Fame. Mr. Dick Storms!
There he goes. You know, I can remember how many times I've come home drunk and saw this commercial and went, ugh. But now he's got primetime funk backing him up here. He's got the original record on and everything.
Some luminaries there joining him back with the primetime funk guys. We got owner of Iron Smoke,
Tommy Burnett.
Tommy Burnett, probably a future inductee.
And Brian Williams.
Jimmy Richmond singing there. And Brian Williams on bass. Yeah. Oh, Brian Williams, what's up?
There is selection and price so low. The Record Archive is the place to go. See now, I didn't know he was so good at barbecue.
3 o'clock in the morning, you gotta get that grill going. You gotta get that smoke.
He's smoking.
Those new rooms that you can run so long. You gotta slam on the grill. You gotta create a conflagration at the patio, 4 on 5. Yeah, now you take those with you.
I was trying to remember if this was like a commercial for a restaurant too, or
no, this is a blues song, classic.
Yeah, it's classic blues. But I'm like, did he use this as a commercial for something too? Or?
Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby.
The Record Archive is the place to go. But I think we better go into the next video. Because it's halftime. And it's halftime here, and it's halftime at the show, too. So let's go into the next video.
Should be. It's halftime here at the Hall of Fame. What do you think so far, Don?
Oh, it's a hell of a show. Hell of a show.
Hell of a show.
He's actually going back out with Foreigner.
Yeah.
Now, I heard that he was, and then he wasn't, and then he is, and then he isn't.
He is.
Like they aren't going to use him in Syracuse.
Well, he'll be the only original member because the guitarist is no longer.
What about Mick Jones?
Mick Jones' health is not good, so he's no longer touring.
I like what they did here.
What do you mean?
Just this whole thing was really nice.
Yeah, that was a press release from Capitol Records.
Yeah.
Have that album.
They were,
And Kiss. Capitol Records put Black Sheep on the tour with Kiss.
This is back when Lou was still just a dirty white boy. And it's nice that he's grown into like a happy old gnome. He looks.
About as exciting as it got for us. We were hoping for big things because the album was getting real positive feedback from the radio stations. And our first show was in Boston. And we got a standing ovation from the audience in Boston on our first show. We were over the moon. And so we went back on and played one more song. And It was magic.
Louis Grammatico, more famously known as Lou Craig. When Nick Jones of the band Spooky Tooth...
See, I never realized this whole story about Black Sheep.
The Black Sheep bandmates encouraged Lou to audition.
I thought he just left and went to Foreigner.
With Lou becoming the front man of Foreigner. And
Took a car crash to end Black Sheep as they were on tour with Kiss.
Oh my God, the Kiss Alive tour in 1975, they'd have been huge. That was the tour in 1975.
Music Hall of Fame inducted Lou Gramm in 2013. He is the first musician to be inducted twice. Bond among the bandmates remains strong, with Black Sheep performing reunion shows 3 times.
There they are.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody tonight, all right? So on behalf of the original Black Sheep members, which began in 1970, I'd like to thank everyone in the city of Rochester for showing support for our early years as a struggling young band.
So I went and re-listened to this album too. It was really good.
Well, there was some chatter on Facebook from certain individuals who were there who were upset they didn't play any Foreigner. We're like, dude.
They didn't play any solo Lou Gramm stuff either.
No.
Because they weren't the
What's wrong with people?
That's just chatter idiots. Chatterboxing.
God, it's so annoying.
I have to have an opinion. And I must express it. I thought they were great.
Here comes Karen.
Karen, she's tearing us down. Karen. Oh, that fucking Karen.
Get out of those videos. Every time there's like, here comes Karen. Oh, boy.
This is a song I like. I was heading for home. How old is he now?
I don't know. I'll find out.
He's got to be in his 70s.
Yeah, probably early 70s.
Something like 73, I think.
'74.
It's the big finish.
You tell some of the musicians were having a little trouble with the stage monitoring. This was one of the parts of the show where the sound was getting a little wonky.
That's why they needed a bigger finish. Here we go with the bigger finish.
Rock and roll.
How many of those guys went on to be in Cheater now? It was Ron Rocco and Nick Mancuso were in Cheater? I can't remember.
No, it's Don Mancuso.
Don Mancuso?
Yeah.
And that was another drummer that they had. I know they had Ronnie Rocco also, but that wasn't Ronnie Rocco on drums.
Oh, that wasn't?
No.
I didn't realize that. Because I thought he came out and accepted with them, didn't he?
No, it was just those four. But I'll have to check into that.
I thought it was funny at the end of it when they were like, right, you never tell the story right, Lou. When they're walking away from the podium. It was funny that we were
he had to tell the equipment destruction story. He always tells that one.
Yeah. Like I said, I always thought he just left and went. I didn't realize that they were so close to being hitting the big time, actually. But then we got funky.
Mm-hmm.
No, we got...
Also has been Bruno Mars keyboardist and live show arranger for 13 years.
This was awesome.
And performing in
this was
50
great.
countries. And backing Bruno.
The sound was a little rough at the beginning of this one, too.
Since 2012.
Well, that's the sound on the video they played.
Yeah, I meant during the live performance, which is coming up.
Fawcett performed stadium shows elevated above the stage with a setup of 6 different keyboards. He also appears in most of Mars' music videos.
6 different keyboards.
I keep saying that I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket.
Now to play all those 6 keyboards at the same time, that would be impressive.
With one hand, well, he's...
As a creative director, mentoring up-and-coming artists internationally from Los Angeles to Tokyo. And he also returns frequently to Rochester to be with family and, when in his hometown, play keys in church.
We are honored to induct to the Rochester Music Hall of Fame class of 2025, John Fawcett!
Now, is he from Geneva, too?
No, he's from Rochester.
He is from...
Yep. Though it seems like he has a connection with the guys from Geneva. It seems like they know each other.
It's all hit me now. There it is. I was waiting for the moment where it set in, and it just hit me.
The youngest inductee so far, I believe.
All the whoopings.
All the whoopings.
All the long car rides.
Oh, I thought his last name was What's Up. From the introduction. That's what it sounded like he said.
I was a brother when I got
Yeah, he's only got 2 keyboards there. And that's when the sound man was a little caught off guard.
We're waiting on you. I was going to include the clip of him looking at the keyboard for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. It took him a little while to get going.
Gotta get that, make sure that auto-tune's programmed there, right?
Yes, that's just auto-tune. It might
This guy was good, the singer.
The singer is fantastic. I have seen him before. I wish I could remember his name, but he's very, very good.
He was amazing.
Yeah, who needs the Maroon 5 guy? The hell with him.
I don't like him. I think he's a jerk. Just from what I've seen, how he acts. But these guys are great.
Yeah, this was a great set.
These guys are great.
You got the crowd going.
Yeah. So Zahaya is in blue and Lisa is in black. There. They were great.
Oh, you know this?
I do.
The girl in black?
Zahaya, I know very well. Lisa, I had just met that night.
Lisa is the one in the black leather?
Yes.
Okay. She was the goddess that I want to have my children.
That's such a sweet thing to say. She's
in a creepy sort of way. In a very creepy sort of way.
She's just a beautiful person.
They were amazing.
Yeah, they were.
The backup singers. And she was the only one that was consistent because they changed up during the different acts. And she was the only one who sang with everybody. It's what I like. It's what I like. Here we go. Let me grab my cane, getting up on my feet, ready to get funky. Look at all the old white people getting down and getting funky. Too hot. There they are. Girl, shake your hallelujah. Town Funk, want to give it to you?
It's a great song.
It's got a good beat. You can dance to it.
Don't believe me, just stop.
There's John. What's up?
It looks like he's genuinely having fun.
Oh, he is.
You know?
Hey, hey, hey. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Up, down, funk you up.
Look at her arms. I mean, they're perfect.
Oh, she works out.
Oh, she's
You can
beautiful.
tell.
Incredible.
She would beat the hell out of me.
I love the way she and Zahaya are dancing so well together. That's awesome.
There he goes.
I literally put on Do Not Disturb. And how did this get through?
I don't know. I don't trust my phone. That's why.
Is Do Not Disturb on?
I don't think it matters. He can take that out.
Then why did somebody get through?
Look at them all. Don, seriously, intensely studying John Fawcett's technique.
That's my stank. That's my stank face.
We're going to see a couple of
That's his normal
audience
face. What are you
points.
talking about? You're always like that. Now you smile.
You're so funky. I think we're going to start seeing that in the next Cupid's Boomerang show. The audience pointing. Little Don with his 6-gun, winking the 6 guns, banging the 88s. Don, you don't seem to appreciate the humor in that. It was a great show. And but as you know, my heart's a stereo.
A stereo.
Yeah, I really like this guy, Travie McCoy. Yeah, I used to think, like, every time I heard that line about the 50-pound boombox, I'm like, this kid is not old enough to know what a 50-pound boombox is, because I had one. 10D batteries that thing took. And that was at least, it had maybe even more than 50 pounds.
I think his dad had one.
That's what I'm thinking, because they did say he was in a rap group with his father. So I think, you know, history. That's why history is important.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we show them what Travie McCoy had to say about
This guy was really
everything.
cool. I like this
Yeah,
guy.
and I just had to stop myself from calling him Travis. Oh, sorry, that was Bruno.
To high school when they were
Oh, here we go.
years old. Travie and Matt bonded over a common interest in music, including punk, indie rock, and hip hop, as well as their disdain for the guys who took gym class too serious, aka the gym class heroes.
Jocks.
Matt and Travie were drummers. Travie stepped up to the mic as lead singer, rounding out the original band with guitarist Milo Bonacci from Geneva and bassist Ryan Geist from Clifton Springs. The four musicians immediately began recording and touring. Fast forward 1 decade from that Geneva gym class, and the band was named the 2007 Best New Artist at the MTV Music Awards. And they were scoring top 10 Billboard hits. Additional accolades include MTV Award nominations for Best Group, Best Video with a Message, and International Video of the Year, plus Teen Choice Award nominations for both single and group. Of the band's 5 albums, popular songs include Cupid's Chokehold and Stereo Hearts.
It was nice that Supertramp let them use that song.
Yeah, really cool.
Well, they get a cut. Sure, he had to pay for
Well, I'm sure they did.
First solo album.
Well, what is that Sesame Street there that he used that clip from,
Which he
right?
co-wrote and performed
The
with Bruno Mars.
part. What is that? Like a Sesame Street song?
Oh, really? I didn't. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
We give a shout out to Geneva. Hitchhiking from Rochester to Geneva. Of course, that's not even anywhere near Rochester. That's a beach in L.A.
A lot of really cool musicians in Geneva.
Yeah, not a lot else to do out there, I don't think. Is there?
It's a lot of music.
Platform that features his art, and once again, a nod to Geneva and upstate New York.
Travie McCoy.
It takes a village. As I stand here as a grown-ass little boy, I'm glad that I was raised in this village right here. I mean that with every fiber in my soul. And within those villages, you find your tribe. And I was lucky enough to find my tribe at a very, very young age. I met Milo Bonacci when I was no more than 5 or 6 years old. I was born and raised in a small town not too far from here called Geneva, New York. Very proud to be from. I have my family in the house tonight, lots of friends. This is beautiful. Which Matt, Milo, and I used to skip school. Sorry, guys. We used to skip school and come up here and hang out in Monroe Avenue.
When are they going to send you to...
Like we were cool, smoking clove cigarettes.
I used to do that.
And we go to Sky High and buy our drum and bass records and all our jungle music, whatevers.
Whatevers. Now you know. About Jack and Diane. Why was he sucking on a chili dog outside of Tasty Freeze?
What type of chili dog was it?
I don't know. Every time I hear Jack and Diane, I was like, what the hell are you doing sucking on a chili dog?
Maybe it was somebody's chili dog that he was sucking on.
Maybe it was Diane's. Oh, there's my attempt at stereo hearts.
Good one. Nice.
But I did it weird because you're supposed to use your pinkies.
That's your antenna. Now you got your stereo hearts in there, and I appreciate it.
Don, where's your stereo heart?
St. Close.
I'm a nonconformist.
We know.
Conforming to the ways of nonconformity?
Singer does double duty.
I notice he switches this line and the boombox line up on a lot of different versions.
What was the name of this song?
Stereo Hearts by the Gym Class Heroes. I don't know if it's Travie McCoy and the Gym Class Heroes when they did this, or this song made him Travie McCoy.
2011.
It's hard to believe it was that long ago.
With Adam Levine.
Yeah. Well, he was big at the time, too. He's such a maroon. He's such a Maroon 5.
You know, I saw them at the club at Water Street, probably about 2000. Didn't even know who they were. Walked in. There was a good crowd.
This is at
I was just
Buckjar?
no Water Street, club side.
Wow.
Good attendance, but it was before they had any hits. They were just playing, you know, Rochester venue.
Let's go. If I was a old stone, bringing ground cold blocks, would you hold me on your shoulder wherever you walk? And would you take my back, you walk in front of the cops and bring a hack every time they told you to stop? And all I ask is that you don't get mad at me when you hit the person's mad deep batteries. Appreciate every mixtape your friends make. You never know we gonna go like on a mistake. I think I'm finally enough to make you understand. If you get to sing along and take me by the hand, just give me some inside the head like a little tune. And no more home stereo, and all I do is go. Hands up!
Yeah, my friend Paj Coscol was in Blast Paris. He was
That's
awesome.
right. Yes, he was.
I was in one of his movies.
Do I want to know?
I was eating food at a diner, and I was cracking eggs in a bathtub in my apartment. It was pretty funny. It was very obscure.
Were you taking an egg bath?
I was taking an egg bath. It was quite interesting.
How very exciting.
I hope you're doing well, Paj Coscol. You're a cool guy.
I think he had a bit of a food fetish.
Well, we both had a band named Edith Head at the time.
Aha. Edith Head. Isn't she a costume designer in Hollywood?
She was a costume designer.
Oh, that was it. That was the class of 2025 Rochester Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony. That was a great show. What did you guys think?
Yeah, that was a really good show. That was probably one of the best ones I'd seen in a while.
So,
out of the 2 or 3 that I went to.
We've only seen 2.
Who are you guys nominating for the next class?
Oh.
Well, it's really not up to us. And that's something we could discuss maybe in a future show where we could examine some people who might be in it or people who probably won't ever be in it, but in my mind and a lot of people's minds, deserve to be. There have been a lot of discussion on Facebook about these things because we know a couple of the people that actually are on the board of members of the Rochester Music Hall of Fame. It seems to me that they...
You want me to go slap them around for you? Well, put anonymous willpower in there.
Everybody has some strong opinions about these things. In my mind, there's a lot of musicians who probably won't make it, who are legends in Rochester, but it seems to make this kind of Hall of Fame, you need to have some national...
Yeah, I think that's what they're looking for.
National success.
Yeah.
That's why we reached to Geneva.
Or at least regional, like the Northeast, you know.
Yeah, but we'd like to We would hope that.
I did, maybe I could talk to Mark McDermott. He's a fellow East Rochesterian. He's the guy who built and designed and created these awards. Can we show him that video?
Did someone forget their award?
Oops.
Talking here to the designer of the award for the Rochester Music Hall of Fame,
Mark McDermott.
Oh, cool. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were waiting on me. Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, roll credits. No.
That's not how you get one of those. You don't get in here like that.
Oh.
The look on my face is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, that was our field trip, class.
That was our field trip. That concludes our lesson in Rochester music history and where we are up to date right now. So we're looking for next year's Hall of Fame members and any great local bands. And as I usually say, that from high above the basement studios of Rock Box, that concludes our broadcasting day.
We thank you very much.
Thank you very much for attending my lecture and my class.
Thank you very much. That was very informative. We really like to thank you.
I always like when people learn. Did you learn anything, Don? Don, I really want to see you start using some of those John Fawcett moves. Just, point out to the audience. Even a wink and a gun would be.
A wink and a gun?
Oh, the wink and the gun. You don't know the wink and the gun? But he gave me the wink and the gun. What should we do our next show about?
Oh, that's a good question. What about Doctor Who?
What's he got to do with Rochester?
I just love Doctor Who. I can't help myself.
Would it be Dr. What in Rochester, or would it be Dr. What?
We could do it on. I was just thinking about who we could do it on. I think that we should have the Veins come on.
The Veins?
Yeah, we should do something about the Veins.
Well, we bring our Veins.
Well, I'm talking about
when
the
are they playing
band.
out? Where are they playing next?
The last time they played was at
Water Street.
Water Street, and it was a really good show.
It was a reunion.
Oh, it was a reunion?
A reunion of
Yeah.
sorts.
Okay.
That and Rob Filardo, who is one of my favorite. I'm a fan of that guy. Great drummer.
Yes, somebody that should be
That
in the
should be.
future Hall of Fame, but
Absolutely.
probably won't. But we could go over that list. I'll put a list together, and we could talk about that
I think we should
sometime.
do that. I think
Yeah.
for an upcoming show, we should have Don's list, Don's nominees.
Yes.
Don's list. And I think we're about done here. So
Cheerio.
I think Scott wants us to close up and get the hell out of here. No.
Till next time. We'll do,
Get the fuck out of here.
should we do our shameless plugs for Susie before we go? Cupid's Boomerang.
Oh,
yes, of course.
May the 4th be with you at Radio Social. It's Star Wars Day.
That's my birthday.
That's your birthday, the 4th?
The 4th
That's
is strong in me.
fantastic. Get over there. We also are playing on May 9th over at Spirit Room.
Spirit Room, downtown Rochester, May 9th. That's a Friday.
Now, this is Cupid's Boomerang, right?
Cupid's Boomerang. Yes.
Which, like I said, they were on fire last night. Go check them out. May 4th?
May the 4th be with you.
May 4th where?
Radio Social.
Radio
Social. And May 9th where?
Spirit Room.
Okay. I hope you could all understand the 2-year-old telling you that.
I was trying to sound like Mike Tyson.
Oh, okay.
Mike Tyson. May the 4th be with you.
Okay. That sounds good. Why do you think that's funny to sound like Mike Tyson?
I
Do you
love
think
Mike
that's funny?
Tyson.
There's a little Marlon Brando in there, too.
Is there a little Marlon Brando? Yeah, there's a little Marlon in there. I think you're
I'm
right.
a fan of Mike
my
Tyson.
nasally noises don't always line up, but I just then Marlon I know.
The time Mike Tyson met Marlon Brando, that'd be a good skit for a good imitation.
It would be
Oh
great
my
if we
God,
could see-
Francis, I've swallowed a bug.